Hi everyone, welcome to today. We are excited to be able to join you today. I pray you're having an amazing day. It is International Women's Day, and so we are excited to be able to be with you today. And so we're going to go ahead and get started in today's live stream. So first of all, welcome everybody. We are live here on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, and we are also live on Instagram. So hi everyone, welcome everyone. Hope everyone's doing well and having a great day. So welcome. Today is International Women's Day. And so this is the day where we get to celebrate women all over the world. And so I definitely want to say hello and welcome everyone. I pray you're having an amazing day, no matter where you are, no matter where you are joining me from. And so I would love if you would just let me know that you're here in the comments. Comment, let me know that you're here. Say hello. Say what city, state, country you are watching from. And that way I can know where you are. So I pray everybody's doing well. Hopefully everything is all good. I'm going live a little bit of a different way on all the social media platforms. So this is a bit new for me. So I hope this is working. So do go ahead and comment. Let me know that you're here, and then we will be able to get started. So I'm excited about going live with you all today. And I want to talk about the theme today of I love being a woman. I love being a woman. I love being a woman. I think this is really important that we have this truth about ourselves as ladies, that we get to say that we love being a woman. And so when it comes down to it, you want to really understand that who God has made you to be is so important. Who God has made you to be is really important. And you need to understand that who I've been created to be is on purpose. It is on purpose, and I am in purpose. I want you to say that with me. I am in purpose, and I was created on purpose. And so this is a fabulous day where we get to celebrate women all over the world of all ages. And one of the things that I've been doing is I'm a part of the UN online delegation, and we have been talking about equality for women all over the world. And as you probably know, and I'm going to introduce myself as well, I love to help women become the best version of themselves. In actual fact, I am on a mission from God to make sure that every person becomes the most divine version of themselves. But I know that I have been specifically called to speak to women. Women's ministry is probably my number one thing. I think it's probably in line with leading worship and singing and so forth. And so I really pray that whatever it is that is on your heart today, that you will get something from what I share in this live stream. And let me know, I'm not seeing any comments come up, so I don't know if this is going well or anything, but hopefully everything is going well. Even if nobody can hear me and see me, I'm going to go ahead and keep going on this. If you could comment and let me know, that would be awesome. So I could just get some support here and let me know that the stream is working. And so I want you to take a moment and just think about that. What does it mean for me to know that I'm a woman? What does it mean for me to embrace everything that it means to be a woman. And I'm just going to play some music for a moment and let you think about that for a second of why being a woman is really important to you. Oh, yes, great. You can hear me. Thank you so much for joining me on YouTube, Turquoise. Lovely, beautiful name. And I'm going to let you all have a few seconds just to think about this. And I'm just going to double check on Instagram to make sure that this is working as we go forth. All right. Great, everything's working. So good to check that everything's working and everybody's fine. A few glitches here and there, but that's okay. I don't mind rolling with those things. I have sung and spoken on live television, live radio, and so I know that things don't always have to be perfect in order to be done. In actual fact, this is one of my core values, that done is better than perfect. That it's not always about being perfect, but it's about making sure that you're being the woman of your own dreams, as well as embracing everything that God has for you. And so if you're on my email list, you would have got this email today. And I want to express some of the things that I shared there here today because it's important. So today we join hands and hearts across the world to celebrate extraordinary essence and journey of women. And I want this theme to be key in your hearts today, that I love being a woman. I want you to say that with your whole heart. You know, they say it with your chest, but I want you to say it and I want you to feel it. I love being a woman. I love being a woman. And with that, we understand that God in the beginning, and I'm always going to reference scripture because I think it's important to have scripture grounding us and making sure that we're following God's word. I love that when we look at the scriptures, we're able to see that there is clarity around the fact that we have been created in God's image, that we have been created in God's image. And I think it's important that we say that only because people sometimes get confused and they think that maybe they're not good enough, or maybe they need to be certain people, or maybe they need to change different things. But as far as I'm concerned, my goal is always only for you to be the best version of yourself. It's always for you to live according to what God has shown you. And sometimes we need help getting clarity on those things. And so I'm going to talk about two things that I have on offer right now that you can join me. I am doing some um, special 90-minute sessions next Friday and the Friday after, and they can be in person in London. You can either meet me in London, because those are where those two locations are going to be, or you can meet me on Zoom. It's the same investment level. And if you'd like the link, I'm going to put the link. If you're on YouTube, the link will be in your description, and on Instagram it will be I'm going to put it in my stories after we're done, and in Facebook I will put it as a separate post after we're done as well. So I've got a few spaces for that. I've got a few spaces for Friday, next Friday, and also the Friday after, for in-person coaching intensives. And the reason why I want to offer this is because I believe that when it comes to knowing who we are, it is about a deep dive into your own personal growth. And it is understanding that this could be a gateway to your higher self. When women sit in my chair and we kind of talk and we go back and forth about different things and your dreams and get clarity on different things, you leave my presence feeling better than when you came in. And so if you'd like to book that, you can either book that in London. So I do them all over the world, but we're doing London for the next 2 weeks. London sessions, I'm going to be doing those for 90 minutes. And if you're interested, the details will be available for you. I won't have many spaces, just to keep it free and kind of like expansive for me. And so if you'd like to book that, it can either be in person in London, or it will be online. You'll do it via Zoom. And either way, you'll still get the same effect and amazingness of whether you do it on Zoom with me or whether you do it in person. And so talking about I love being a woman, it gives you insights into understanding that when I choose this life, so we get to choose. The great thing about how God has made us and created us in this world is that we get to choose every single day to choose God. We get to choose the life that God has given us. We get to choose the path that we live on. We get to choose. And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to be a part of the UN, the United Nations Women's Day, and women's things that they're doing over the time that we're here. Because I think it's important that as women, we're able to express and really give um, a platform for other women, even when they might be in different situations. So one of the things that we've been doing and talking about in the with the United Nations is around women's equality, is around hearing women's stories and giving women opportunity to share their stories in a space where their stories will not only be listened to, but that things will be done based on your story. And to me, being able to be a part of that has been something that has been so powerful for me personally. But when it relates to what we're talking about today of I love being a woman, I love being a woman, you must come to this point. And I talked about this last night when I did a live late yesterday, and I shared how I've got a new Etsy store, and I've got some really exciting items that are inside the Etsy store. And if you're interested in that, then I will also put some information down below. In actual fact, let me go ahead. Maybe I'll share some items from the store. But before that, I want to get into this. In the book of Isaiah, chapter 62, verse 3, it says this, that women are, that it talks about, I want to bring this scripture to life because I think that this really highlights who women are, that we are crowns of splendor and a royal diadem in the hand of God. When you see yourself as a crown of splendor, when you see yourself as something, as a woman who is full of substance and virtue, and a woman who is powerful, who is feminine, who is wise, we understand that according to scripture as well. And that allows you to be able to be the kind of woman who is unapologetic about who she is. I did a video maybe yesterday or the day before. You'll be able to see that it is on TikTok. It's also on Facebook and on Instagram as well, where I talked about that we are no longer apologizing. You do not need to apologize for being the woman of your own dreams. We are not apologizing for desiring the things that God has placed on our hearts. One of the little girls that my family fosters, is really funny because she will look at things, and she's only 3 years old, and she will look at things and she'll be like, she calls me Auntie Rachel. And so she will say things like, oh, this is what Auntie Rachel would do, or she likes to wear my heels or different things, because even at a young age, there is an intrinsic desire in her to desire different things. And so we have to learn how to not go against who we are. And I know that there is this awakening in the world where people are starting to say, you know, you can do this, you can do that. But what I want you to do is to really step into your power as a woman today. Step into the fullness of your power, the authority of what you've been given. And there's a post that I read today in one of the groups that I'm a moderator in, where a lady was asking some advice because she's a single mom, and it's an anonymous post, so I know I can share that with you today. And the lady is a single mom, and she found that she was pregnant again, and she was asking about whether or not she should get a termination, even though she doesn't want to get one. But she was thinking that the man that she was with was not a provider, and he wasn't a strong leader, and he didn't want to settle down. And you know, in that moment, I sent her a message, but also commented on the post and let her know that, listen, this is not the time for advice, but do what you want to do, which is she wants to keep the baby. But this is not even about that. What I want to say to you ladies today is, you must not, and you've heard me say this before, that it is not wise for you to be with a man, even date a man. Let's even go backwards. I'm not even talking about marriage or intimacy or anything more serious than that. But even in the early stages of dating, do not date, talk to, connect with a man, and even as a friend, because if you know, your network really is your power. And in your network, you want to have men who are stable, men who are honorable, men who are leaders, men who are stable. I said stable already. Men who are emotionally intelligent. You want to have men who embody traits, even if they're not your husband. It's not about them being your husband, it is about your circle. And if you are with someone, and so this lady is with a man that she doesn't believe could be a good father to her child, and also isn't a provider and isn't stable, we've got to stop doing that. And I did a video on this not too long ago where I said that we need to not be desperate for attention, desperate to be in a relationship just because we need to be with a man. You must get beyond that. You must bring fulfillment from within. Today is International Women's Day. And my goal is that every single woman will know that they are powerful. Every single woman will live to their fullest potential. That every single woman will rise up and really understand that I hold the key to my future. You know why? Because God is with you and you will not fail. That is the scripture. That God is in you and you will not fail. And when you take a stand from that perspective, it will change the way you do things. It will change the way you operate in the world, in the way you date, in the way you speak to people, in the way you speak about yourself. How do you speak about yourself? That's why I said I love being a woman. Because when you know that you love being a woman, when you understand that who I am and who I was created to be was on purpose, there are certain things you just won't do because you love yourself. If you love yourself, you, even if you don't want children, okay, let's even, like, it's not even about wanting children. What it is, it's about knowing your goals, having clarity on who you are as a woman, and making sure that you are not, obviously I advocate for reserving sexual intimacy until you get married, but honestly, ladies, you're going to do whatever you want. And I am going to be the first person to put my hands up and say I have not been perfect in that area either. So this is not even me being judgmental. I'm actually speaking from experience and saying that you should not, let me say this, and I want us Jamaicans, I'm from Jamaican culture, and we say this, what do we say? We say, we don't want to speak with water in our mouth. I want you to hear me clearly about what I'm saying here today. Do not lay down with a man who you will not see yourself being covered by, being led by, being protected by, being provided for. Do not, do not, do not. Because it is a choice, unless there's, of course, there are going to be caveats to this. So if there's abuse or, the R words, things like that, if that happens, that's different. But we're not talking about that. I'm talking about when you make a choice. When you make a choice to actively pursue intimacy with that person, ask yourself, and I'm sure, listen, this will stop you many times. I've got some girlfriends that I speak to about this type of thing. We have similar goals and similar ideas, and we're always laughing about how this stops us from, like, making really bad decisions. And in actual fact, as I said, do not even go on a date with a man that you could not respect, that you could not admire, that you don't admire, that you can't see covering you, protecting you, providing for you. That is something that he will show you. He will show you that even as a friend, even in the dating space, or if you go to courtship, whatever. Okay. And we must love ourselves to the point where we will no longer be satisfied with that. Don't just be with a man because you need to be with somebody. You must find fulfillment in yourself, in your hobbies, in friends, and maybe even around the friendship era. You might have a lot of friends, and that's okay. But what you can do is you can go to events, you can make yourself more busy, but on purpose, not just busy for the sake of being busy. Because if you're being busy to keep yourself from maybe having sex too soon or doing or blah, 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 you've got to check the root of it. Don't just do things and think that you've cured whatever's going on. It must come from within, which is why if you go to I think on my Etsy store, I have an affirmations book, but I also on my courses website, I have 365 affirmations for the rich wife. And these affirmations have underpinned me and stopped me from many a times making stupid decisions, or as we tell the children, making bad choices. The choices that you make today, they absolutely do echo in eternity. The things and decisions that you make. So on International Women's Day, what are you choosing today? What are you choosing today? And there are two things that I want to invite you to if you're interested. I do have my membership, and you can, oh, let me just see if I can change that. 1 second. My membership is available, and in the membership you're able to see I have hours of trainings in there, videos, also ebooks and content and things like that, that you'll be able to see there, and it is $77 a month. And as you can see, there's quite a lot of items that you can see there, that you'll see when you join. There's like so many things in there. I do new trainings in there every single month. There's on-demand tools in there, there's templates, and also there is support as well. So it's $77 a month, or you can pay for the lifetime access when you go on there. And I believe the links are also in my bios or description, depends on where you're watching. So if you're watching this on YouTube, it will be in the description. Facebook as well, you will see a post with that. I think it's in my header. And also on Instagram, you can go to my bio or send me a text. And then also another thing I have coming up is this. So I'm excited about this. It is called Discover the Rich Wife Within workshop. And this is going to be an amazing workshop that I want you to think about or consider joining me for. If you're on my email list, you will have already received the information. And we're diving into femininity. We're uncovering secrets to unlocking your divine potential, transforming your perspective, and ignite your passion so you can step into the life that you are meant to lead. Hi, so good to see you, Vivian. And I think it's important that if you're not ready for, maybe you're someone that's watching this and you're saying you're not ready to join the membership, and you're not ready to maybe book a call with me or anything like that. Let me tell you how much it is. It is only $27. So you can join today if you go to iamarichwife.com /workshop, and then you'll be able to join us there. So iamarichwife.com /workshop. And if you're on Instagram, the link is in my bio. And also if you are elsewhere, the links are there. You'll see the links around. Okay, there are links around, so you'll be able to join, and it's only $27. So what have you got to lose? It is a taster of the things that you can learn with coaching with me. So if you're interested, definitely comment and let me know, and then I will send you the link probably sometime today. All right, so those are a couple of things. And also the other thing I am doing is I do have 90-minute sessions available, and I'm doing them for 2 Fridays. So next Friday, the 15th, and also Friday, the 22nd, I am doing in-person coaching sessions for 90 minutes. So you'll be they're private coaching. So you'll come and see me. I'm going to be doing them in London. Okay, on those 2 days, those are specific to London. There's this beautiful hotel in Canary Wharf that I like to work at, that I actually went for a date one time and I loved it ever since. So I am going to be doing them there. And it's an amazing hotel in Canary Wharf. Canary Wharf is in, the city of London. And so I'm doing it 2 days there. So I'm doing it Friday the 15th and Friday the 22nd. But if you're not anywhere near London, or you're not coming to London during those times, I am also doing them on Zoom. So you'll get the same energy, you'll get the same impact, you'll get the same transformation. The only thing is that I don't have many spots because I like to keep my days expansive. I love to just like go with the flow and really ask Holy Spirit what to do. So I've dedicated some time to be able to do calls with you all, or do it in person. Could you imagine being able to sit like next to me across the table from me and really ask me anything and really dive deep into maybe your relationship, your marriage, your ministry? Maybe there's an issue that you want to talk about as it relates to your career or your desires of being a rich wife, or it could be just a life goal that you want to kind of get clarity on, or maybe form a dating strategy. We can look at your dating profiles. We can talk about like how that looks, and anything. Really, nothing is off limits. So ladies, I would definitely recommend that you book those ASAP. So I've got 2 Fridays available, Friday the 15th and Friday the 22nd. Let me just check. I think, okay, so as we were talking today, I can see on my emails, I've got my emails up here. I've got someone who's booked. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. And those are going to be $88. So those are $88 for those 90-minute sessions. And so if you want to join me, please do go ahead. Okay, what speciality do I coach women on? Great question. So the main things that this is my main overall arching thing, is I want you to be the most divine version of yourself. I want you to be the most divine version of yourself. That is the main thing that I am coaching on, is that you are the most divine version of yourself. And that could mean maybe you want to talk to me about moving, transitioning from your job to your business. Maybe you want to talk to me about your business, because obviously, as you know, I run an online business. I have an Etsy store. I do coaching. I do singing. I do a couple of things here and there in order to have like a few streams of income coming in. Some things that I've built recently, and some things that I've been doing for a long period of time. So we can talk about that. We can talk about femininity. If there's areas that if you want to get out of survival mode, you want to get out of struggle mode, then we can talk about that. We can also talk about any marriage or relationship issues you might have, dating things, advice you want to talk about, especially for ladies. I am specific. I am here for the woman who is a rich wife. What is the rich wife? I'm so glad you've asked me that. The rich wife is royal. That means you know that you're a queen. The rich wife is intentional. So we don't just go on dates for no reason. We're not desperate. We're not lonely. We're not just out here looking for any type of man. We are specific about the kind of man that we are going to be coupled with. The rich wife is also charming. She is confident. And the rich wife is a woman who is set apart. Okay, so it's important that that is the kind of woman that I'm talking to. If you relate to those things, or you aspire to be that kind of woman who is emboldened in her femininity, the woman who knows the art of seduction and knows how to let her presence be known in a room, the woman who knows how to put herself first and make sure that whatever situation she gets into, her desires are honored. Those are the things that I help you with. I turned 40 in January, and some of the things that I've been kind of dialing down, I guess deepening in myself. I've noticed that in a lot of the coaching clients that I've been speaking to recently, I'm 100% feel so sure about the path that I'm on. Even in my interactions, in my life, my personal life, and so on. I prefer to be more private about my personal life. But if you email me or message me, different things like that, I can give you more specifics around what you might want to be coached on. So we've got some questions here, and I'd love to be able to answer them. Melania, I hope that I answered your question correctly for you. And what are your thoughts on men financially providing and supporting men before? Sorry, let me start again. What are your thoughts on men financially providing and supporting women before marriage? Oh, that's a really good question. I'm actually going to go ahead and see if I can get that written up here, and then we can let other people see the question as well. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on men financially providing and supporting before marriage. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and show that question. Hopefully you can all see that. What are your thoughts on men financially providing and supporting before marriage? My thoughts are that, yes, I don't. So just like, I know this is a sticky one because not everyone agrees, but again, I am quite specific. So I have found that most times a man who desires to provide will do it before you're married. And sometimes men haven't had that experience before. So maybe they've not been with women before who have required that, or women who they have felt, when people say, like, if you're her. So I have this idea of the dream woman. So I talk about that a lot. The rich wife is the dream woman. I wrote a comment on, I think it was Shanika's post, and also Marcia Dixon did a post as well, where I talked about this, that if you're her, if you're the dream girl, if you're the one that he wants, if you're the prize that he's been looking for, there are a lot of things that he starts to do automatically, or when you ask, you will get what you ask for. And I found as well that there are certain men who will do this off the bat when they realize that, oh my gosh, this is the woman I want to be with. I think that men who want to be married to you, I think there's a spelling mistake in there, but we'll just leave it. Men who desire to be married to you will show this to you before they get married. So this can look like gifts. This can look like sending you money. This can look like supporting, like, maybe some of your rent if you have somewhere where you pay rent, or saying here's this for that, or here's that for this, those kind of things. And I think the answer for this is, my thoughts are, that is a must. I think that a man who provides will show you this before you're married. I don't think that being a provider is a switch that gets turned on and off. Like, a man who desires to provide is going to provide. And that's, honestly, I've always seen this happen. And I know some people are going to say, well, they should wait until they get married. I don't agree with that at all. And I would not wait until you get married in order to see that happen in your life. What providing looks like for you looks different for every woman. And actual fact, I've had this question asked. I had a guy ask me some time ago about, like, well, how much would it cost for me to provide for you? And I was just like, there isn't, he was talking about when we got married, and I was just like, it's more about the time and what we're doing and where we live. And then we started to put numbers together. So a man who's intentional will actually be looking at numbers, will actually be like, listen, this is what I can do. And you will get that. But women, we have to not be afraid to ask for what we want. And sometimes this can be tricky. This can be tricky because I remember another scenario where this happened to me, and this also happened to one of my clients as well, where they were talking about a trip, and it was like they weren't engaged, they were just dating, and he was like, well, I'm traveling to this place for business. Let's say he's traveling to Mexico for business. He's like, I'm traveling to Mexico for business. I'd love for you to accompany me. I'm gonna, how do you feel about that? And then sometimes people are like, oh, if a man wants to do it, which I agree, if a man wants to, he will. And you can feel nervous about asking. So I remember having this conversation, and it's funny because my clients always mirror me, which is interesting. So I remember having this conversation, and I reflected this back to the lady as well when I was speaking to her. And I remember having this conversation, and the question was asked me, they were like, well, what do you want? Like, do you want me to pay for it all or whatever? And I said, yes, that is what I would prefer. I will prefer. And I also would prefer if we had separate rooms. Like, that is my preference. I do not want to, fall into temptation. I do not want to make it awkward or anything. I would love if you would book everything. And of course, if there could be separate rooms. And for some women, you might say, well, I don't want to ask for that. I just want him to know. And that's okay. If that works for you, my answer is always going to be, is it working for you? Is it working? Is that working? Is you expecting men to know everything and read your mind? Is that working for you? You can't get upset at a man for not doing certain things, especially in this modern world that we live in, where we're seeing on social media, even some of your favorite preachers are saying this from the pulpit as well, talking about men, women being entitled and all this kind of thing. If you're seeing all this being said, then of course, if he's grown up and he's never seen his dad provide for his mother, or every girlfriend he had before paid for him and did all these things for him and blah, 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 and he never had to do anything, or he's just never experienced it, so he doesn't know how you must. These are my beliefs, and like I said, my question is always going to be, is it working for you? How is that working for you? All right. And let me just read this comment as well from Melania. In the Bible, men provided and gave gifts before marriage to show intent and seriousness. Isaac, Boaz, etc. I believe it is necessary. Listen, girl, you are singing from the same hymn sheet as me. And I know everyone isn't going to agree with this. This is why we don't do things for public approval. Now, for example, people ask me, and I got some messages around Valentine's Day. They were like, oh, you didn't show your gifts or what you got. Did you not get anything? I got quite a lot of things, but I do not see the need. I think that you've got to get to this place where, is your life for you or is it for other people? And don't get me wrong, there are times when I will show like flowers, or I'll show gifts, or I'll be on a trip, or I'll do this, but I'm at the stage in my life where I prefer an element of privacy. So I did share certain things with like a couple of friends, but I didn't. And my family knew about it. Like, there's different things. But I don't believe in doing things for the gram. I don't believe in doing things because it's content. I think I've only ever shared, I think there was a couple of reels, like there's only like a couple of reels or a couple of posts on my social media where I've even shared like gifts or anything from a gentleman, or any kind of material thing, only because I believe in the privacy between me and him. But sometimes if we feel like we have to show the world, and don't get me wrong, I have other friends who are content creators who do show gifts and things like that, which is fine. What I'm saying is, what is your root cause for doing that? Are you only asking him for roses, or only asking for flowers, or only asking for this because you want to flex on your friends? Are you only doing this because you want to show his ex that you get this and she doesn't? You don't need to do that. And on this International Women's Day, learn how to love yourself. Learn how to know who you are. Learn how to embrace the beauty and the uniqueness of who you are. Learn how to embrace who you've been called to be. All right? Who you've been called to be. Don't allow people to tell you who you should be. That only comes from who God has called you to be. And again, that goes to why I personally, at this current stage in my life, there will come another time where I will be flexing, but I'm not there. I'm in a moment where I like keeping everything private. And honestly, I have never ever been more loved. It's so interesting that when you truly dedicate your life to your purpose, everything. I preached a message. I try to remember when it was. I know it was last year, but trying to remember when. Maybe October, where I said that everything is happening at once. Everything will happen at once. And you will, faster than your head will spin, you'll start to see things move in your life. You need to get into a position where you understand that who God has made me to be means that whatever I say, I'm going to receive. Whatever I desire, I can have in my life. And so once again, if you like my vibes, you like what I'm saying, you feel good on what I'm doing, and you're like, yes, I need to ask her a question, but I want to ask her in private. I have, for the next 2 Fridays, so Friday the 15th and Friday the 22nd, I am doing 90 minutes intensive sessions. So they're private coaching sessions, either in person, because I've got a hotel in Canary Wharf that I'll be doing it from, the next Friday and the Friday after. So 2 Fridays, the 15th and the 22nd, I will be hosting 90-minute sessions, private sessions. So just you and me, just you and me, you and me. And those of you, and let me say this as well. If you're a couple and you'd like to meet me, then let's do it. If you're a couple and you have some questions or you want to go through some things, then I will also, I've never done that before. I've never opened this up, but I feel the Lord on this. And if you're a couple and you would like to speak to me about a few things, then you can also meet me, or you can meet me on Zoom. So it's $88 for 90 minutes. And I'm either going to be in London, I'm at a great hotel in Canary Wharf where we can get this done, or you can do it on Zoom. Cost the same, no complications. And I also have my monthly, as you know, I do have a monthly membership as well. So if you'd like to join the membership, let me go ahead and put that up here. The membership is here, $77 a month, and you get videos, there's ebooks there, there's audios, there's so much content there. You'll get value from it as soon as you join. Even if I never did another live session, there's so much in there. Okay, so I really invite you to do that. And if you're saying, Rachel, I'm not ready to commit to monthly, and I also don't want to do a private call with you, I'm a bit shy or whatever, then join me for this. Discover the Rich Wife, the Rich Wife Within workshop, which is only $27, and it's going to be on the 18th, on Saturday the 18th, and it includes your replay as well. Will be included. The replay will be included in this as well. And so if you're interested, I'm going to put the information. Those of you that are on my email list, you would have already received this. All right, so let me close with this. Every single gentleman that is on this live, or has read my emails, or has looked at my post, or has been encouraged by anything, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the men that support the work that I do. I get messages from men all the time for various reasons, but one of the reasons is they'll be like, Rachel, like, I wish I'd known this before I got married, or, you know, now that I'm looking again, thank you so much for sharing these things. This will help me to be a better man. Like, can you recommend anyone for husbands? And it's really interesting that sometimes some men, all they needed was a little bit of a nudge. All right. And I think I'm going to go and get my light. So bear with me 1 second. Let me go and get my light, and I'm going to play some music for a moment, and then I'll be back in 1 minute. Give me a few seconds. Hey guys, I'm back, just getting things set up for you, and then we're gonna get back on the show. Listen, when you're going live, this is how things can be. Has anyone ever been live on television? I've been live on television several times and on the radio, and sometimes this is how it is, where things don't always go the way that you thought they were going to go, but we're going to go ahead and continue. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to fix this light so we can continue on, because this is really good today. I can already see some great messages from people. So I'm excited to resume. Okay, so there we go. We're lit up a bit more. And so here's the thing that I want to close with today is that when I say thank God for making me a woman, every single man has ever celebrated a woman. We want to say today thank you as well, because actually it takes both of us in order to make sure that things are done in the way that they should be done. And equality for women and allowing women the voices and really supporting us and really kind of like providing and covering and protecting, when we all are in our rightful places, that's really when we see the beauty of God's glory in our lives. And so every single gentleman, I want to say thank you so much for supporting the work that I do, for supporting the women in your life, for supporting your wives, your girlfriends, your mothers, your sisters. And of course, in the UK, it is also Mother's Day this Sunday as well. And so we'll be again celebrating women. But I want to underpin and really end off with this, that when you are clear on your own desires, ladies, I'm talking to you again, I'm back to you now. When you have clarity on your own desires, nothing will stop you from allowing things to come to pass because you have clarity in your desires. And if you're saying, Rachel, I don't have clarity on my desires, listen, I have a dream, I have a manifestation journal inside of my Etsy store. And so you'll be able to get that. Go ahead and get that. Have a look at that. That will give you some ideas. I also have my sessions that I just spoke about. So if you want to book a coaching session with me, I have 2 Fridays available, next Friday and the Friday afterwards. And so you can come and speak to me. I'm either going to be in person in London. I'm doing 90-minute sessions, or you can do them on Zoom, and that will be great. And also, I do have a seminar coming up. I have a seminar called Discovering the Rich Wife Within. And I'll just show you that one more time. Oops. Nope. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's go ahead and change that. Let's go ahead and do this instead. Discover the Rich Wife Within workshop, which is like a taster session. It is going to be a 90 minutes at least seminar, and you'll get the replay included as well. It is $27, so really affordable. And then, of course, we do have the membership that you can get, which is $77. But that is, of course, lots and lots of content there that you can get, and you'll be able to dive into that as soon as you sign up. And so, without further ado, I want to say one more time, happy International Women's Day, and I want to thank God for making me a woman. Ladies, I want you to say that too. I thank God for making me a woman. And I can see in my emails that we have another lady has signed up for sessions. Okay, perfect. And so I am super, super excited to be able to do that. So let's go ahead and close out tonight. And I hope to see you all soon. And if you have any questions, DM me on whatever social media platform you're watching me from. Facebook, send me a message. Instagram, send me a DM. On YouTube, you can just click through to any of my socials and then send me a message. All right. So God bless everyone. And I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.